In our interview, Dr. Rose Gidado speaks on the safety of genetically modified organisms for agriculture in Nigeria and the importance of GMO technology to the country's agricultural system. Dr. Rose Gidado, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you are the coordinator Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology, and as the federal government now looks to, turn to agriculture, already turned to agriculture as a matter of fact, to diversify the economy, what role can biotechnology play, to make this very feasible?
Biotechnology can play a very, very critical role, especially at this time that we're talking about economic diversification, moving away from the oil sector to the non-oil, and with agriculture being first on Mr. President's list. Of course, before we're able to make agriculture a business, we have to use appropriate technologies to actually raise the status of agriculture. And one of these technologies, of course, is modern biotechnology practice. Why am I saying that? Because this technology has had history of safe use and has been contributing to the economy of other nations.
So when you say modern biotechnology, can you just throw more light into that?
Modern biotechnology, of course, is the use of technologies, the use of science to improve crops, to improve livestock, to improve medicines. It has 4 areas of applications: the use of biological systems. And those biological systems could be plants, animals, or humans. And the 4 different areas of applications, of course, are agriculture for the improvement of plants, for humans, at least improvement of medicines for human beings, and for animals, improvement of animals, whatever you want to use an animal for, especially cattle. You want it for dairy, you want it to be able to produce a lot of milk for you to be able to do business, you want it for meat, that's for beef. Of course, you can use this technology based on the understanding of the DNA. DNA structure had been studied, had been identified and studied how many years ago? Since the 1950s. And scientists were able to know, with that study, the structure, to know where the genes are and which gene is responsible for what and what. So based on that, I think the technology is premised on that, on the understanding of that DNA. You could play around with genes. If this gene is susceptible, making a plant to be susceptible to a particular disease, or susceptible to insect pest attacks, or what, or you want it to be drought tolerant. So if that gene is susceptible to that, you can eliminate it. You can use this technology to actually remove, or you can bring a gene from a different plant to another plant, maybe from a particular crop, say sorghum. Sorghum is a drought tolerant crop. So there must be a gene that is responsible for that drought tolerance in sorghum. So I can identify it and take it and put it in maize, so that I'll be able to plant my maize in a drought area, in an arid area, in a place like Maiduguri, where there's no rain, less rain, and what. And that's it. So that's what the technology is about.
Okay, so basically, what is the economic implication of introducing genetically modified organisms into our food system?
Yeah, of course, it contributes to the economy, because as you're taking care of those challenges that actually does not allow farmers to have high productivity. They are always in subsistence farming because of low productivity. and things like the drought, things like flood disasters, things like insect and pests, the fall armyworm that actually occurred last year, which like most farmers lost everything that they produced, 80%, 90% losses. So once we take care of those challenges, of course, you've done a lot. Productivity goes higher. The farmer will have strong yield. And farming is all about having strong yields, having good harvestable yields.
Because of the improved varieties,
because of the improved varieties, because of those problems that actually lead to damage of crops and what. Those problems, once they are being taken care of, that is it. The farmer has had it all. And once you have the yield, your profit margin goes high, you know. And then if you have developed a particular crop to be resistant to certain insects, you are reducing the number of chemical sprays. So reduction in chemical sprays, and then reduction in maybe the use of fertilizer, because I can develop my rice to be nitrogen use efficient. It means that it will have, it does not need much fertilizer. Maybe with little, if I was using maybe like 5 bags, it could reduce down to just 2 bags of fertilizer, maybe per hectare or so. And that's economic, you know,
so the debate is actually huge, both locally and internationally, about GM foods and all of that. But is Nigeria really ready to accommodate GMs in the country?
Nigeria is ready to accommodate because Nigeria has a framework in place. We have a National Biotechnology Development Agency, and that is where I work. And the agency is charged with the mandate of promoting biotech activities in the country, making policies, at the same time coordinating and facilitating, and then domesticating this technology, deploying and all. So, and then we also have an agency, National Biosafety Management Agency, which is under the Federal Ministry of the Environment. Biotechnology Agency is under the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology. And so these two structures on ground, one regulates, the Biosafety Agency regulates the practice of modern biotechnology to ensure safety, and that is what people are concerned about. People are concerned about safety of the use of this technology, safety of the products and what to the environment, to human, you know, and then to animals. So with these two structures, I think we are ready, because the Biosafety Agency has taken off and they're doing their work. They're doing it according to their acts.
I think that debate, you know, arises because of various concerns. Really, local farmers would express concerns over how this would maybe might take over. You know, what they're supposed to be gaining or producing or thereabout. But I mean, the reactions are varied as we speak. So,
yeah, for sure.
Exactly, tell us, how accessible is this seed going to be to farmers, or how does Nigeria intend to go about this so that it doesn't create that much you know, crisis?
The seeds will be accessible to farmers, as accessible as possible, as the farmers wish. Because we're going to work with the seed companies. We have the Agric Research, the Institute for Agricultural Research in Zaria. We have other research institutes. They're all agricultural research institutes, and each institute has its own mandate crops. Like IAR Zaria has like about, I think, 7 or 8 mandate crops, ranging from maize, sorghum, cotton, soybeans, you know, no, not soybeans, sunflower, you know, rapeseed and all. And then we have the National Cereals Research Institute in Badegi, also has mandate crops like rice, you know, like soybeans and all. And then we have the Root Crops Research Institute, also having the mandate for cassava, sweet potatoes and all. So all of them are actually into this research, and they all have extension workers, and they all have their own farmer groups, and they work with the farmer groups. They work with all association of all farmers, you know, that's the AFAN group, and then we also have the cotton group, you know, different growers, you know, all together. So, and then they're also going to work with indigenous seed companies, whom at the present we're involving them, we're engaging them, for them to have better understanding of this technology. So that their capacities will be enhanced, and then they also need to like upgrade maybe the facilities they have.
But are there health implications?
Actually, there are no health implications.
None.
This technology has been in use for the past 21 years, 21 to 22 years. It started in 1996 in the US, and till date, there hasn't been any health implication. But people just are perceiving fears. We have perceived, all these perceived fears, and then we have other people who are opposing this technology.
Are they the ones spreading the fears, or the fears actually existing?
Yeah, those things are not actually existing, but it's just a rumor monger. They are unscientific, they are baseless, because this is a scientific venture, and we're in the era of science and technology, and we believe in science. We are for science. So whatever somebody has, maybe due to, can I say, his ideology, it's not actually about ideology, but it's about science. But people can do all sorts. And maybe because of trade issues, we have the agrochemical industries. This technology actually reduces pesticide use. And they will not just sit down like that to watch this thing happen. Those countries like Argentina and Brazil that have adopted and they have commercialized. And for the past many years, they have been into this business, and they export, and they're self-sufficient in food and all. So the reduction in farm inputs actually helps in stabilizing prices, helps in making their produces cheaper. And that is why most Nigerians these days, I tell you, they go to Brazil, they go to Argentina to import grains, GM grains. Recently, I'm sure you heard about it. GM grains, they're being imported, and they're being used as poultry feed in Nigeria. And when you ask them, why are you doing this? Because we have maize farmers in Nigeria and all. And why not buy from the country? They will tell you that the maize in Nigeria is expensive. Maize in Nigeria, a bag is like, is it 12,000? Sometimes even up to 18,000. I mean, so how can a poor man afford to buy that? And so, but the one from Brazil is cheaper. And why? Because less farm inputs.
Well, thank you for mails and tweets as always. We'll take a few of them right away. I have this one coming from Oheke. It says, the FCT minister should stop wasting taxpayers' money annually on tree planting as dry season approaches. Same thing was done last year and all the flowers died. Now they are repeating it this year. This next one is from a Twitter handle simply known as Imaro, and it says, it is high time we started pushing for independent candidacy. No political party except founded and principled by youths will give not too young to run the right chances and opportunities. Don't be deceived by their olive branches. A word is enough for the wise. Leaders of tomorrow. Oh, well, that's much we can take for today. Keep sending in your views and comments using the email address and Twitter handle on your screen. Don't forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/video. Don't forget to share anything happening within your locality. And thank you for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umezuki. See you again.